I thought this was supposed to be about stocks.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the program. Oh my God, right now, are you asking yourself,
What happened? What? I thought the market always goes up. Where?
so, Ed, the funny thing about what happened to this market is how quickly it turns. We went from who's going to hit 1,000 first, Priceline, Apple, or Google, to who's going to hit 500 first. We went from a company who couldn't do anything wrong, and everybody was piling in because of an iPad mini and a new phone. And the one moment where there was a little bit of a glitch. Oh, wait a second, their 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 map app doesn't work too well. Let's crush the stock. And if you guys watch that video, sometimes trading and investing is as simple as that. As soon as you get it into your brain that things might not be as good as it seems, it's time to sell. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong. If you feel uncomfortable, just sell. It's okay. So what? I'd rather you guys not lose money than waste money in a market that has been built again on hope and faith and the shell game. Now let's look back for a second. It all makes perfect sense now that we're looking at it from a month and a half gone by. I think it was pretty apparent that I've been screaming about selling out of this market as soon as those Qs broke back under 67 and a half. Our target price was 61.85 on a full-blown catastrophe. The thing about this Apple sell-off, and I love what I'm hearing on the television, they're talking about how to fix Apple, what Apple needs to do. They need to reinvent themselves. They need to prove themselves as a market leader and an innovator. Really? Suddenly, that's what they have to do. I love it. 2 months ago, they could do nothing wrong, and now they need to reinvent themselves. Apple Computer just proved, and I know I call it Apple Computer because I'm old. Apple just proved to everybody who was left standing, no stock is sacred. Every stock eventually runs out. Every empire falls. Every stock is built on hope and faith. And once you take that away, you're in trouble. The one thing that people got right across the board was the fear that our entire market was revolving around one company. How Apple Computer can change the GDP of America. How Apple Computer could save us from the fiscal cliff. That Apple could save. Come on. It's a consumer stock. And once the consumers stop buying, it's just like every other piece of shit stock out there. Now again, I'm no genius. Luckily I got my dad out. As soon as the stock broke 650, I was like, listen, I know you missed 50 points, but now that it broke 650, it's probably going to go to 600, and then who the hell knows why? Don't ask questions, just sell it. Just sell. We'll ask questions later. Short the Qs, sell your stocks, and stay short the Qs, because this is finally the moment where the market's going to go down. Now, personally, I have nothing going on. I've got no shorts. I have FSLR calls right now, and I'm short a little CRM. Monster Beverage, by the way, just bucking the trend. Market trying to put a little bit of a bottom here after that capitulation. So we got down below 61. I think our price was balls. What was the price we were looking for? We go back to the 125-day chart, and we're looking for 61.54, hoping and praying that that was going to be the low for this market. And so far, you got a little bit of below it. You know, nothing Works perfectly, but here we have another tradable bottom. Reminding you once again, stocks are meant to be played with, not owned. Now I wish I was short this whole time, but again, all we were doing was selling naked calls on the Qs, so we made a little bit of money on that first couple of down days, and this market looked taking off like a bullet right now. Whoa, Q-Core going green. Monster Beverage still staying strong. Lots of green coming across the screen right now. Finally, the capitulation is in, and all we had to do was break down under that 61.51 area. Congratulations to my guy screaming out there. He was buying that dip. Very well played. AIG back to being green. So before we go any further, guys, I just love this market so much because I think, and also I know it's hindsight, but the market was already on shaky ground. And then to do that Google, to have that Google catastrophe that day was just an absolute travesty, shaking the confidence of the hopers and the faithers out there. Because the market's like a religion. Take away the hope and faith, and what do you have? You have anarchy. Take away hope and faith, and this market's going to zero again. Take away hope and faith, and we got nothing. But you know what? If you're liquid at the end of the day, you can make these days worth everything. So when you go outside and you see somebody complaining, oh my God, what are we going to do about this market? You could look at them and say, I had the best day. I was shorting Cena, that piece of shit stock. I'm still short the Qs. This is great. And you, at the end of the day, boom, you cash out and you've made a successful day out of this nonsense. Again, we've only done a select few trades today, but we're staying patient. We're waiting for that tradable bottom whenever it does come. Can we give back everything that we did in 2012? Sure can. Sure can. Our leader has a bullet in its head. Without Apple Computer and Google, the trifecta of stocks taking a beat down lately. AIG, Goldman Sachs, Apple Computer, and Google. Where are we going to go without the four horsemen of my universe? Without the four horsemen, those are my horses: Google, Apple, Goldman Sachs, and AIG. My conspiracy of those four stocks control the market. And when you don't see AIG participating in a rally, it makes me frightened. When it broke down under 35, we said all is lost in America. AIG has broken back under $35 a share. And who would have thought the trade of the century was sell Apple and buy Facebook? Nobody thought that. That's why I love this shit. I love it. I love it. The only thing that's going wrong for me today is SLV. I thought this thing would be rocking right now, but again, I guess when there's selling across the board and everybody's panicking, you're just selling everything. The idea of running to gold or running to silver is over. That was like from the 70s. Gold and silver are trading in their own planet right now. And if you guys out there still think there's a shortage of gold, and that's why we're running, there's no shortage of gold. There's no shortage of oil either. So stop pretending that oil is based on supply and demand. Just Google that. Is oil based on supply and demand? You'll see 1,000 reports talking about how much oil we had at the highest point. When the oil was at its most expensive, we were at this crazy surplus. So that's all bullshit. The key takeaway from this market in this last month and a half is that it's all bullshit. Don't forget that. Don't forget. Anything can happen. It's all bullshit. And stop caring and trying to figure it out. Just do what you know what works. And that's hanging out with the master right here. I'm going to guide you through this latest catastrophe. And you know what? If we start crashing, even going down from here, there's going to be another 100 opportunities. I don't care that we missed 50 points on Baidu. Maybe it's going to go to 88 and back to 50. Who cares? Goldman Sachs. Why can't Goldman Sachs go back to $85 a share? It could happen. We'll be there for it. So come on. Stick with me. We'll all hold hands and, as they say, sing Kumbaya together, and we'll laugh in the face of the mutual fund owners. Again, if you own mutual funds and you're out there, why? You need somebody to put your money into the market and not be disciplined? You know what mutual fund guys do, right? They buy stocks and they hope and they pray that it goes up, and they take capital gains tax from you, manager's fees from you, and a whole bunch of hidden fees that you probably don't even know about. Active managing your own money is the way to go. It's the way to go. I like coal. Too bad Romney wasn't elected, right? We'd all be bathing in coal right now. All right, guys. So this is where we're at. We're coming into 12 o'clock. The market's trying to stabilize right now. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. And maybe we'll find something to buy. Again, guys on the other side of the office are hooting and hollering. They must have bought some of that dip. Congratulations to them. For me, I'm going to stick back, I'm going to sit back, and I'll wait for those perfect setups, because it doesn't matter what the market does. Just wait for what you know usually works, no matter what the market's doing. We're not hedge fund managers, we're not mutual fund managers. We don't need to manage anything. We just want to get in and get the hell out. And then pat ourselves on the back for making a day's pay. And you know what? Tomorrow, if the market's crashing, if it's rallying, it doesn't matter. We're still going to look for the same setups, with the same attitude, and bada boom, bada bing. Let's make something happen. Nice 50-cent rip on the Qs off that low. Right now, Autodesk still hanging in there. That stock's been strong all day. Right now, taking a look at some of these chip stocks that are trying to come back. Saddest part about this Apple catastrophe is that it's taken down everybody with it. But that's the one thing everybody got right.
What if Apple fails? What's going to happen?
You're looking at it. I'll see you guys when I see you.